Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. You know, not every day is glamorous here at Creekside, but every day matters. So you're going to come with us through this very ordinary, nothing fancy day, because these are the kinds of days that build a successful business, a successful garden, and a successful life. When you show up when things aren't really exciting and it's just kind of the mundane, then that is where the magic happens in the long run. So we are going to kind of travel through this very ordinary day here at Creekside. A couple of things. One, can you see Jerry's machine right there? Dear heavens, most of y'all know that we have just come out of a very rare snowstorm here in North Carolina. And if you have snow, you know what happens when the snow melts. That's right, you enter into mud season. So we are coming somewhat out of mud season, and so there is a lot of work that Jerry has to do to maintain the property. So we're going to kind of check in with him, see what he's doing. This is going to be fun for all you folks who enjoy the heavy equipment and the quote construction part of it. Yeah, it's a mess. Then we are here up at production because our folks are working their little hearts out getting these beautiful Creekside Champions potted up. And so this is kind of in that time of the year where maybe a little bit of the excitement has kind of worn off for, you know, all the new plants arriving, but it is going to pay off massively come this spring when we have got gorgeous plants to put in your gardens. And then speaking of gardens, we're going to head down to the signature garden. There is some pruning that I have to do in order to have an absolutely gorgeous spring and summer. So again, we're going to have some fun here together. First, let's come in here and let's check in on our folks in the production house, because like I said, they are busy little bees in here. My friends, the greenhouse here is filling up. And today we are focusing on those Creekside Champions. We've got Jose, who is bringing down a cart full of them. They have one little corner left that they can fill in, and then both of those bays will be full. And then we're going to start moving them into a different location. But we have a mix of both perennials and annuals for the Creekside Champions that they are potting up today. It is so exciting. You'll notice that, of course, the Creekside Champions are in these terracotta pots. We are getting branded pots. Y'all, that is such an ordeal. I mean, who would have thought that deciding on a pot and the design and the tray would be such a huge ordeal? Well, it is. Again, it is one of those tedious little things that takes a long time to really nail down and figure out. I think we have finally figured it out. So we are having branded pots with the Creekside Champions, just not this first go round. But speaking of, I mean, they are working like crazy. They have got all of these have been popped out and ready to go. Let me show you some of the cutie patooties that are going in their pots today. Here we have some of the Gaillardia, and y'all, these are like the healthiest. Look at those beautiful roots. So this is that spin top. This is a spin top mango. So we've got mango, we have got red, there's all sorts of different, there's spin top red star. And of course we love Gaillardias because they love the heat. They're so extremely versatile. And you've got the red, look at that. So all of these sweet babies are going in. Then we have got Silver Falls, of course, your Dichondra Silver Falls. This is going to be an annual. We love it because it has that silvery gray trailing habit. It is stunning. So we've got those. We have got my absolute favorite lavender of all time, Phenomenal Lavender. So this is, I think, the second or third round we've got of those going in there. We have got some daisies. We've got crazy daisies. Of course, the crazy daisies are really fun. They are a white. It looks like their petals have been shredded, nice and thick and full. So we've got those. And then, y'all, we've got the Sunfinity sunflowers. So we've got Sunfinity, and then the double sunfinity, it's around here somewhere. But these are, of course, those reblooming sunflowers. These are annuals. Beautiful, healthy roots on these. So this is going to be really a fun one. Cannot wait. Have big plans for those. And then, of course, one of my all-time favorite perennials, this is Ascot Rainbow. If you've been around me for any length of time, you know how much I love Ascot Rainbow. I use it all the time in my landscape, my containers. And so we've got those as well. And then the angel wings, another really great silver foliage on this. It's not going to flower. It is an annual, and it loves it on the dry side. So this would be a great one to put in your containers. Just absolutely gorgeous on this one. Here's the double. Yeah, so here we have the double yellow. I had one that was blooming the other day in the greenhouse. Took a picture of it. Such an absolutely great reblooming sunflower with that double thick flower on it. It is gorgeous. So, yep, just working hard. We've got the system down now, so everybody kind of knows their role, what they're doing, how to make this happen. But it is these days, my goodness, and we've got more plants coming in tomorrow. We've got another delivery coming in of Proven Winter Annuals coming in tomorrow from Pleasant View Gardens. So, I mean, we are in the thick of it, my friends, but it is paying off because look at all of those beautiful plants. And of course, this is just one greenhouse, right? So I talked about how we're getting ready to run out of room. So we're gonna come here to the back of this production area and start filling in this area, because every single square inch of this greenhouse will be filled with plants by the end of this season. But right now, let me show you all these pots. This just gives you an idea of the number of plants that we're going to be planting in the next week. So look at these pallets. All of these pallets have been, these are all going to be for the retails, because you can tell, one, it is labeled. So there's 1,300 pots right here in their trays, but it is retail because obviously there's no barcodes on this. So the retail, we're not barcoding our annuals. We hope to get to that point at some time, but right now we just are not. So these are all be for retail. Basically, it looks like there's about 1,500 on most of these pallets. This one's a little bit smaller, so it only has 1,300. So these will all be those Proven Winter Annuals that will be for the retail. They're still working. Any of those terracotta pots, those are going to be what they're going to be potting today and for the Creekside Champions. So that's what they're doing. And then, as you can see here on the other walls, we have got the Proven Winter Annuals that are going to be for e-commerce, because you can see those little orange stickers. They have got the barcodes on them. And then down here below the racks, behind the racks, we have got more of the Creekside Champions that will be for online, because they too have their barcodes. All right, so we are going to let our sweet people just keep doing their thing, because I think sometimes when I come up here and film, I'm more in the way than I am being helpful. Yeah. They don't need me up here yapping. Just let them get back to work and do their thing, because let me tell you, they are like a well-oiled machine. Now, speaking of well-oiled machines, we're going to come out here because Jerry has given me permission to talk about this. So, you know, if you watch any of our videos or if you've seen any of the drone footage here at Creekside, we have very little concrete, right? The concrete we have is going to be like in the greenhouses and that kind of stuff. So all of our roads are gravel, and we maintain that with gravel. It is just, one, it's a whole lot cheaper to do gravel than to do concrete or asphalt. It's easier to maintain. We've got to remember we have massive trucks that come in here all of the time. And yeah, so we just have gravel. And it is a constant maintenance on this. So when we had the snow and the roads were passable, like the main roads. So we had, you know, of course, our employees coming in and all of our equipment coming back and forth. So the gravel roads up here to production just were horrendous because, of course, you know, that 9 to 12 inches of snow was melting and it was just gross. Thankfully, we have dried up because you cannot maintain a gravel road when it is just soup and mud and nastiness. You have to wait until it dries up some before you can actually maintain it and do something to it. So Saturday, today's Monday, so Saturday, Jerry was working on the road, and in his whatever, he forgot to lock down the bucket. And so when he lifted the bucket up on the cat, it ripped off all of the quick connects. And so, of course, then he was like super frustrated with himself. But now you can see that truck back there. So he called first thing this morning, like at, I don't know, 7:30. It is like maybe, I don't even think it's 11 o'clock yet. It's like 10:30. And Kat is already out here fixing it. So way to go, Carolina Cat, for your very prompt service and showing up, you know, within just a couple of hours on a Monday morning. So he is here to fix what Jerry broke, and then once that is done, then we'll come up here and we'll see what kind of maintenance he is doing on the road, because like I said, it is better, but we're still going to probably have to bring in more gravel and probably thicker gravel because, like I said, we have got lots of trucks coming, and this is an ongoing process issue, not issue, it's just a constant maintenance, right? Because no matter whatever you have, you always have to maintain your equipment, your roads. And if this road is not maintained, then when Lenny, maybe it's Lenny tomorrow, comes in with that 18-wheeler all the way down from New Hampshire, he's got to get down this road. We got to have the trash people come on the road. We've got to have the gas people were here just the other day and it filled up the gas tanks. So maintaining a road is not glamorous at all, and in fact, it can be quite, you know, kind of tedious and muddy, but it is super, super important. So while Mr. Cat is here fixing the machine, we're going to go ahead and head down to the signature garden because, like I said, I have got to prune my little lime hydrangea hedge. We have been holding off on that because they've been looking so pretty with all their winter interest. But spring is going to be here. Tomorrow is going to be 70, y'all. Like that is life here in North Carolina. We were, well, I mean, this morning it was cold. I mean, you know, it's below freezing. It's not like crazy cold, but yeah, tomorrow's 70. So I've got to get pruning, and I have a certain four-legged creature in my machine that is ready to get out and go play in the garden. Can't really do that up here with production with all these people around here. So we're going to head down to the nursery. We'll see you there in a minute. Here we are at the garden center, and of course at the signature garden. So what we're going to be doing is pruning the little lime punch hydrangeas that are behind the sprinter boxwoods. And like I said, we left up their old blooms, right? Their bloom heads, whatever you want to call them, so that we would have that really pretty winter interest throughout the season. You know, mission accomplished. So now we have to do some maintenance and some pruning, because that is what I am doing primarily these days in the garden. I am pruning, weeding when I can, when there's not snow on the ground, because those little tiny tasks that we do on a regular basis to maintain the garden, that is what creates those gorgeous gardens in the spring and the summer. So we have talked about many times how to prune panicle hydrangeas. That is what a little lime punch is. And so it'll be about 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. When we planted this, the goal was to have it as a hedge. someone is still quite enjoying the snow. So she, German Shepherd in true fashion, loves good snow and to bite it and to play with it. But anyway, we'll let her have her fun. But you can see that we are about to hit that where the hydrangeas are just about to begin kissing the boxwoods, and they are kissing one another because I want the boxwoods to be a hedge and I want the hydrangeas to be a hedge. So I will come through here. You can see where I pruned this last year. So this is where it was pruned last year. All of this was this year's growth. So what I'm going to do is to come about halfway up where I pruned it last year, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. So every stem will get pruned, and if I have any little thin, spindly stems down here at the base, then I am clipping those out because I want really strong stems, not weak, floppy stems. So I'm just going to set the camera up, let Brenna play with the snow, and I will show you what it looks like once we're all done. Are you having fun? Huh? Yeah. You're a nut. You know that? Yeah. All right, my friends, so I got all of the little lime punches have been pruned. And y'all, I know that it does not look like much right now, but trust me, you've got to trust the process. There is a lot that is happening, that is going to happen in the coming months, and this space is going to look unbelievable. This past summer, it was gorgeous, and then you add another year's worth of growth and development and maturity to these hydrangeas, the boxwoods. Oh, I cannot wait until this growing season. It is going to be unbelievable. Side note, boxwoods, we will not prune those until later on in the spring. But yeah, so all of the little lime punches, they are pruned. I tell you, I felt like they were multiplying on me. They just kept on coming. It's one of those little tedious jobs that makes a huge difference in the long run. Now, in real time, that probably took me 2 hours to do that. And so I was just enjoying my time out in the garden. The birds were chirping. It was quiet. And then if you can hear Jerry, he is now down here. So the road work is now moving forward because Mr. Catman is gone. And so the machine is back up and operational. Let me show you what he's doing. All right, so Jerry's gonna move up to the road right quick. But I want to show you just a little bit. So we still have the snow and the ice and all the stuff that is melting here, because here in front of the greenhouse, it does not get a ton of sun, especially in the winter time. So this is somewhat of what we were dealing with. This is actually not too bad because Jerry had just put down gravel before the snow came, but you can just see how wet everything is because the snow behind it is melting, and then of course it runs down this way. So you can kind of see those dark spots where the rain is happening, though the runoff is, excuse me. But as we go up, it is dry. So let's follow him up there so we can get up on the road and see exactly what he's doing and explore that process a little bit more. Jerry has the power rake on the cat, and so what it is this basically is this spinning cylinder that has these little teeth on it, and the whole purpose is to try to pull up the gravel that has been smushed and kind of, quote, buried underneath you know, just the debris. So he has gone over this already like 3 times. Like I said, he started it on Saturday, and so it really is like a giant rake. So imagine if you were to come through here by hand and had super strength and were able to rake this up, so you can see where that gravel is, so it pulls it up and then it is smoothing it out. We're doing this because obviously we want to pull up the gravel because, you know, gravel is expensive, and so it makes a huge difference just looking at this already, because you can see, like, we actually have gravel here. If we were here this time last week, so just 1 week ago, it was still covered in snow. But let's fast forward or rewind, whichever way you want to look at it, to say last Wednesday, last Thursday. This was an absolute mud pit. All of our vehicles were just coated in this gray, gritty, grimy mud is the best way to describe it. So we really thought we had kind of, quote, lost the road, but since, praise the Lord, it has dried up. Beautiful, clear Carolina blue skies. We've had some wind, which of course the wind always helps to dry things up. And we were able to finally get some machinery on here and to fix this. And so now what we're going to do is just kind of sit on it and just kind of wait and see. We don't have any rain really in the forecast, which honestly is just fine with all of us. And so we're going to see how this kind of holds up. If we need to add gravel, then when I tell you that Jerry is on first name basis with the quarry and the trucking company, he and Drew, they're like this. Jerry calls up, Drew, I need XYZ. Drew's like, I'll have it for you there this afternoon, my friend. And so we're probably like one of their MVP customers. I don't know. So we would love not to have to buy some more gravel right now. But there you go. Again, nothing exciting and really fun about this, but such is the maintenance and life here at Creekside Nursery. Days like today don't really have a big, huge like before and after reveal, but it's days like this that make spring and summer so incredibly beautiful and allow us to bring those gorgeous plants to your gardens. So as always, we so appreciate you hanging out with us today on this very ordinary day here at Creekside Nursery. As always, we hope you have a fantastic day. Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We love you, and we will see y'all in the next video. Bye, my friends.